right. So my name's Austin. This is Oni, and we are going to talk about exercise. All right. Talk about basically, the different stages of exercise, especially for someone who seems like overwhelmed with life and, very well may be, in a position in life where they're like, I don't have time to exercise or I've never exercised before in my life and I want to get into it. I just don't know how. So we're going to hit like four different questions, areas, and then, that's going to be it. It's going to be about 10 or 15-minute video. And we're going to let Oni introduce herself first, tell us a little bit about herself, and then we're going to get into the questions. So go for it, Oni.
Sure. So my name is Oni Mullet. I am 34 years old. I live in a small town called Columbus, North Carolina. I am married and I have four kids. They are 11, 9, 5, and 3. Also currently homeschooling, which that started in the last couple of years. I actually I started with Fly Bodies. It's been 3 years now. Did the program and then been doing some training with Austin, and I'm now a Fly Bodies trainer.
That's right. That's right. So it sounds like you may have a few things on your plate of things you're doing right now.
Just a few.
Yeah. Just, a couple here and there, maybe have like one or things on your to-do list. But and I feel like there are millions upon millions of people just like you, where you're like, I have kids, I'm doing homeschool, I have, got to take my kids to practices, I got to do all these things while trying to also take care of my own health, and sanity. So basically I wanted to get into first, like, did you work out beforehand? Like before you started Fly Bodies, what kind of workouts did you do? Or, if you didn't work out, that's not a big deal, but did you work out? And then also what made you want to start doing Fly Bodies?
Sure. So before I got married, I actually did a lot of running. I never did like any kind of other working out. I always just did running. I did a lot of that. And then when we got married, I moved to a different state. And I don't know, just kind of lost motivation, just, I don't know, all the things. And so I stopped running, and then we started having kids, and in the 10-year span, I did not do any exercise.
Well, you were running around gathering all your kids and like doing
I was
all that
busy.
stuff, but
I was
nothing
busy.
like
I was
direct exercise.
just doing a few things here and there. Anyways, so what had happened was, over the time of having kids, I gained a lot of weight and I wasn't able to lose it, especially with not doing any working out and that kind of thing. So when we found out about Fly Bodies, the reason why I wanted to join was to lose weight. I needed to lose weight. And that was my main reason. Working out was not something I was excited about. I didn't know how I was going to find the time to do it, but it was kind of on my to-do list every week, and somehow I got it done.
For sure. So, and you said, so in the beginning, what you said basically is the first thing you want to do is I want to lose weight. So like, that was like the main driver. And I would say 99% of people start a workout program overweight people start a workout program because they want to lose weight, which is totally normal, which is 100% normal, because like you said, some things in life kind of get in the way and you start to say, okay, I got to start doing these things rather than like focusing on this part of my life. Yeah. So the motivation first and foremost was, okay, I want to lose weight. I want to get healthier. And that's my first motivation. And now I guess for you, the next question I'll ask is like, so what made you in the beginning and then also 3 years later? So those two things I feel like are different. What made you in the beginning, like, stick to it? What do you think the main drivers were? And answer that question first, and then we'll talk about like why you still do it.
Okay. Yeah. Oh goodness. The beginning, I distinctly remember doing a workout in the garage and hating it, like thinking, I do not want to do this. How long am I going to do this?
Right.
But I was very driven. Like I wanted to lose that weight. I knew that this is what I had to do. And so that was what made me keep doing it, honestly.
And sorry to interject, but did you think like, did you think, oh man, I'll be doing this 3 years from now? Or you were like, oh, I'll do this for like 3 or 4 months and then I'll be done. And then I'll be able to keep the weight off. Like, give me that mindset. Cause I feel like a lot of people do have that mindset of maybe I'll just do this for 3 or 4 months and then I'll be done and I won't have to worry about it. Tell me kind of how you were thinking about that.
So it's kind of funny because I feel like it was such a mental game. It was such a mental game in the beginning. And it's still, it still is here and there, I feel like. But in the beginning, it was a thing of like, oh my word, like this is so hard. I don't want to do this. Am I going to have to do this really long? And I remember thinking, am I still going to be doing this in a year? Like, am I still going to do this? But I
Right.
remember one time just being like, you know what? Stop thinking about this. Stop thinking about this. Focus on right now.
Mhm.
Do today. Tomorrow we'll do tomorrow. And just keep going as much as I can.
For sure, for sure. And I think it's a lot of times overwhelming, like for a lot of people to think, oh my God, like how long will I have to
Yeah.
do this before I get to where I want to be, or to feel like I've accomplished something.
Yeah.
And so that, like, when you think of like that daunting like carrot that's like maybe a year or 2 or 3 years away, you're like, this is not even worth it to
Looks
do
big.
today. Right. But
Yeah.
so in
Yeah.
the beginning, I think it takes a lot of encouragement and motivation from like the people around you, or a health coach, or a significant
100%.
other. Like when you're doing it with someone like your husband or wife, or like a group of friends, you
Mhm.
guys, like, you get to feel that motivation from the people around you. And I think that
Absolutely.
really helps in the beginning, because like it's super hard in the beginning. Now, like,
Mhm.
2 3 years later, now it's like, oh, I'm running workouts because I know how beneficial it is. So
Yeah.
like, that is one distinction I think people need to understand, is like, in the beginning, yes, it's going to be much harder to
Mhm.
motivate yourself to want to do these things. So it helps to have like a coach, a friend, or a significant other to be like, hey, we're in this together and I want to see you succeed.
Yes. Yes.
So now, as a health coach and as someone that works out regularly, like what other than like being able to work for Fly Bodies, like what makes you want to continue to work out now?
I feel like the list keeps growing, honestly. um, Number one, I love how it makes me feel,
Mhm,
especially I have noticed such a huge thing on days that I'm overwhelmed,
mhm.
getting a workout in. And usually those are the days that it's hardest to, because I'm overwhelmed, but
But
it's
it's a
just a thing of
stress
making
reliever,
the,
right? It's like such a
it's a
good stress,
stress
like,
reliever. It's
it's one of those things where I feel like people, sorry,
nope.
people forget, like, oh my God, like this is such a good stress, because we build up so
Yes.
much stress and anxiety throughout the day. Like, you have no idea, or a lot of people just don't realize, like, oh man, doing a 15-minute hit workout or going for a 45-minute walk can like just
Yes. A
completely
hundred
de-stress you.
percent.
And so you
Hundred
wouldn't get that
percent.
until you actually do it. But keep going. Sorry,
Right.
I'm getting
No, the
excited.
other thing is my kids. I have like, I love two things about my kids. I love that, number one, it's instilling in them the desire to work out. I see that in them. My son, sometimes he'll come to me, Mom, I kind of ate bad today. Can you put a workout up for me? Cracks me up. It's just hilarious. But number two, I have it has given me such a confidence, like since I started working out and knowing that I'm stronger, and knowing like there's days that I feel so like on top of the world because of my workout. And then my kids being able to see that in me and see that confidence, um I feel like that's huge. That's huge for me.
Awesome.
Then I also have like my 3-year-old who like knows that this is part of my routine and is like, hey mom, are you doing a workout today? Cracks me up. It's hilarious.
That's awesome.
But
Yeah.
that's a lot of it, honestly. For me, the thing of how it makes me feel, but then also for my kids, and
Mhm.
my relationship with other people around me too, because it
For sure.
what it does for me, and then it like how it makes me feel helps me to make others feel better too. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's like
It
it's
leaks off of you for
symbiosis.
sure.
Yeah, it like plays off of each other. And then like when people see you, they know, oh, Oni's a Fly Bodies trainer. Like they're like, oh, I'm gonna perk up. I'm gonna tell her I've been working out, or I've been like, hey, I've been kind of eating that. Like, it's not like all the time always good news, but it's like, oh
Right.
man,
Right.
people see me as somebody that's motivational, also somebody that is trying to also work on their health. Because by no means nobody has a perfect equation on how to live a healthy lifestyle. So we're always
Right.
figuring it out. And even you can say like, there are days when I don't have time to work out. And it's
Right.
like, it just happens.
Today's one of them, man.
Right, exactly. Right. Like, it's definitely something where I think some people feel like if I miss a workout, then I'm a failure. And it's like, no, 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 no. Like, we're not always going to have time to work out. But the next day you come back around, you go, you know what? I'm going to make it a point today. I'm going to make it a priority because I
Yep.
know how good it is for my psyche and also for my health. So, the last thing I'll say is, and I think I lost you, but it came back. It's okay. It's
Sorry.
okay. Maybe it's my connection. No worries. The last thing I will ask you is like, if you wanted to give yourself advice, 10 years ago, 13 years ago, how long ago it was, but that's kind of where I go is like, if you were to give yourself advice back then, or just someone who just literally wants to start out working out, what would you tell them to either one, get them started to work out, or two, like keep them going and saying like,
Mhm.
hey, it's definitely not as hard
Oh,
as you think.
this is probably one of the easiest questions because for me, I would say do what you can with what you have and the time that you have.
Gotcha.
And Fly Bodies taught me that. Do what you can as far as, if you can only do a little bit of a workout, that's fine. It's fine.
Mhm.
It's better than nothing.
Right.
With what you have, you don't have to have equipment to work out. You can do body weight workouts, which is what a lot of ours are. And then number three, with the time that you have, like it does, like I said in the beginning, it doesn't have to be an hour-long workout. Do what you can with what you have. Don't put so much pressure on yourself to
Mhm.
accomplish these huge things that are a little unattainable at the moment. Just make them small and start
Mhm.
there, and eventually you get bigger, and that's okay. I think so often, especially as moms, we put so much pressure on ourselves to like reach this certain level just like that, and it's not that easy. And it's okay if your kids interrupt you in a workout, or it's okay if you have to pause it to take somebody potty. That's fine, you can do that. Just come back and get back at it.
That's awesome.
Don't put so much on yourself that it makes it feel like it's impossible, because it's not. It's totally possible. You just got to do what you can with what you have.
Love it. I love it. And we'll end on that because that's just, I love the advice. Do what you can with what you have. And obviously sometimes it's going to be more, sometimes it's going to be
Mhm.
less, but we're always just making an effort. So
Absolutely.
that's our first little, one-on-one podcast, I'm going to say, with Oni. And hopefully you guys find that helpful. If you have any questions, obviously feel free to reach out. If you want more specifics, we're here to help. But we definitely wanted to jump on here and just say like, hey, give you a little taste of what an actual person like went through the journey of, didn't even work out one day a week, to now it's like a normal thing to work out like once a day, 4 or 5 times a week. So hopefully that helps. And thanks guys, and we'll see you next time. See ya.
Yeah.